Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you learned something useful from our past video of ball signal in which we talked about how trains used to operate in past times. Now we are back with another episode of History Hoppers where we're going to talk about another hidden gem in the world. So have you ever heard about a city that disappeared in a day but revealed its secrets somewhat around 2000 years later? Well, stick around till the end and you will discover what really happened to that lost city and how it actually rose again to become one of the world's most valuable archaeological site. So Nivya, let's get started and let's reveal to our users what are we going to talk about today.
Yes, we are going to talk about Pompeii, one of the most iconic ancient cities in the heart of Italy. Known today as a major tourist destination visited by millions each year, Pompeii's fame comes from a dramatic past. It was completely buried after the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Centuries later, it was rediscovered, remarkably preserved, offering us a stunning glimpse into the life in ancient Rome.
Amazing. Okay, so where exactly is this city and how to get there?
As you can see on the map, Pompeii is located in southern Italy near the modern city of Naples in the Campania region. It sits right at the base of Mount Vesuvius, the very volcano responsible for its burial. To get there, the easiest way is to travel to Naples, which has an international airport and is well connected by train. From Naples, you can either take a local train from Napoli Garibaldi station directly to Pompeii Scavi or drive. The train journey takes about 30 to 40 minutes, and the archaeological site is just a short walk from the station.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's so extraordinary about Pompeii and that it continues to fascinate historians and travelers centuries later?
So what makes Pompeii truly extraordinary is that it offers a rare, almost untouched snapshot of life in ancient Rome. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, the city was buried under volcanic ash so quickly that everything from homes and shops to wall paintings, food, and even people were frozen in time. Unlike ruins that crumble over centuries, Pompeii was well preserved in place, allowing historians and tourists like us to study and observe daily Roman life in incredible detail. For travelers, walking its street is like stepping back nearly 2000 years into a world that feels eerily alive. It's not just history, it's a time capsule of human civilization.
Hmm. Okay. Thanks a lot for sharing that. Okay, let's move on. So, what kind of a city was Pompeii before eruption of Mount Vesuvius?
So, before the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, Pompeii was a thriving Roman city bustling with life. It was a prosperous center for trade, agriculture, and culture thanks to its strategic location near the coast and fertile volcanic soil. The city had a population of around 11,000 to 15,000 people and was known for its impressive architecture, markets, temples, amphitheaters, and even luxurious villas owned by wealthy Romans. Pompeii was not just a small town, it was a vibrant urban hub that reflected the richness and diversity of Roman daily life.
Hmm. Okay. So, who used to live in Pompeii in past times, and what did the daily life look like in this ancient Roman city?
Yeah, Pompeii was once a lively city where all kinds of people lived, from rich families, wealthy people, traders, craftsmen, farmers, and even slaves. Life there was actually quite advanced for ancient times. People went to markets, relaxed in public bathhouses, watched shows at the amphitheater, and worshipped at temples. The city had shops, bakeries, bars, and even small restaurants where people grabbed food on the go. Homes had beautiful wall paintings, they're also called frescoes, and some even had running water. But the whole city was actually dependent on the water, public water provided on the streets. It's amazing how much their everyday life looked a lot like ours in some way.
Hmm. Okay. So we all know like how it looks like these days. I'm really curious how is it used to look in the past times. So, what exactly happened when Mount Vesuvius erupted, and what was that day look like?
Yeah. So, what exactly happened when Mount Vesuvius erupted? As I mentioned previously, it was the year 79 AD. Life in Pompeii was going on as usual. No one knew that they were living next to a volcano that was about to explode. Suddenly, a massive column of ash and smoke shot high into the sky. The eruption lasted for over 24 hours. Ash and pumice rained down, covering streets, homes, and even people. Roofs started to collapse and panic set in. Later that day, pyroclastic flows, those fast moving waves of superheated gas and ash, came rushing down Mount Vesuvius, instantly killing anyone still in the city. Within just 2 days, Pompeii was buried under nearly 15 to 20 feet of volcanic debris. The city and everything in it was frozen in time. So we know all this thanks to a Roman writer named Pliny the Younger, who was just a teenager at the time. And he watched the eruption from across the bay and later wrote letters describing the terrifying scene, how the sky looked like night in the middle of the day, and how people fled in fear. His account is still one of the most important records we have of what happened that day to Popeye.
Hmm. Very exciting. So, how much of the city was destroyed, and were there any fatal accidents?
Yeah. So almost the entire city of Pompeii was destroyed during the eruption. Buildings collapsed under the weight of falling ash and stones, and eventually the entire city was buried under several meters of volcanic material. Yes, there were many fatal accidents. Tragically, thousands of people didn't make it out in time. Some were crushed by falling debris, while many others died instantly from the intense heat and toxic gases during the pyroclastic surges. What's haunting is that when the city was later uncovered, archaeologists found the preserved body casts of people frozen in the exact position they were in when they died.
So, the most interesting question here is like, how did volcanic ash end up preserving the city so well?
Yeah. The volcanic ash actually acted like a seal over Pompeii. When Mount Vesuvius erupted, it covered the entire city of Pompeii with several meters of ash, pumice, and debris. This thick layer cut off air and moisture, which helped protect buildings, artwork, objects, and even the bodies of people just as they were at the moment of the disaster. Because of that, Pompeii wasn't just destroyed, it was preserved. That's why when archaeologists started digging centuries later, they found homes, shops, and streets almost exactly as they were in 79 AD. It's like the whole city was frozen in time.
Hmm. Okay. And what happened to the Pompeii after it was buried? Like, how was it rediscovered?
Yeah. So after the eruption, Pompeii was completely buried under thick layers of ash and stone, as I mentioned. Over time, plants grew over it. The land flattened out, and the city slowly faded from memory. People forgot it ever existed. There were no ruins visible, just farmland. For centuries, Pompeii was more of a legend than a real place. Interestingly, before Pompeii was rediscovered, another nearby city, Herculaneum, was accidentally found in 1709 by workers digging a well. Then, in 1748, while digging for a summer palace for the King of Naples, workers stumbled upon parts of Pompeii. Excavations officially began soon after, led by a Spanish military engineer named Joaquin, and that's when people realized they had uncovered something extraordinary, an entire Roman city of Pompeii frozen in time.
Very exciting. So who were the first people to excavate the city and what did they find?
So the first official excavation, as I mentioned, it was begin in 1748, led by Joaquin, a Spanish military engineer working for the King of Naples. At first, they were just digging to find treasures and impressive ruins, not fully understanding the historical value of the site. But soon, as more was uncovered, it became clear that they had found something rare, an entire Roman city of Pompeii, preserved just as it was at the time of Mount Vesuvius eruption. They found homes with colorful frescoes, mosaics, temples, street shops, and even objects like pottery, coins, and tools. One of the most shocking discoveries was the remains of people caught in the eruption, later preserved through plaster casting, showing them in their final moments. Just like what you see in the picture on your right hand side, bottom right. That's how the people were preserved. And the picture on your bottom left shows some pottery, some containers that people used to use back then to carry mostly wine or other kind of liquids.
Hmm. Interesting. So I just want to let my viewers know that these were the pictures that Nivea clicked when she was there. So you can see like the ruins here, the debris, and how it looked today. Okay, so what can the modern tourist expect to see when they visit Pompeii today? And do you recommend any particular historic sites that they should visit to know more about the history of the city?
Yeah. So today, when tourists visit Pompeii, they're literally walking through the streets of an ancient Roman city, just like it was nearly 2000 years ago. It's like stepping into a time machine. You can see everything from homes, bathhouses, bakeries, temples, and even graffiti left behind by the people who once lived there. So some of the must visit spots include the Forum. It was the heart of Pompeii's public life, surrounded by temples and government buildings. The amphitheater, that was my personal favorite. It is one of the oldest surviving Roman amphitheaters where gladiators fight. Uh, then there is Villa of the Mysteries. It is famous for its beautifully preserved frescoes that still show vibrant colors. Then we have the House of the Faun. It is one of the largest and most luxurious homes featuring the famous mosaic of Alexander the Great. The Lupanar is the Pompeii's ancient brothel known for its wall art and insight into Roman culture. The plaster casts, haunting and powerful, these show the actual positions of people when the eruption happened.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, okay, thank you everyone. I think that's all from our side. I hope you learned something useful from this video that where we talk about the ancient Roman city and how it got buried under the volcanic eruption and how it got rediscovered after centuries later. This was it from our side, and we'll see you again with some another hidden gem around the world. And till then, bye bye.